The main objective of today's meeting is to publish the final roll of the electoral rolls of Sikkim uh, after the special summary revision which was carried out between 17th of October 2023 till 9th of December 2023 with respect to 1st January 2024 as the qualifying date. As you all know that every year the electoral roll, or in common parlance what we call the voter list. So every year the voter list undergoes a change due to new additions of people who are eligible to enroll their names in the electoral roll, and deletion of names of people who have died or who have permanently shifted from Sikkim, and due to modifications of the entries in the electoral roll, maybe due to some errors in the name or in the relationship, or maybe any other particulars in the roll. If someone wants to change, say for example they want to give a color photograph instead of a black and white photograph, so all those changes also take place, and all these changes which take place in the electoral roll are done in a campaign mode during the special summary revision. And after the SSR, this period is over, whatever applications that have been received, they will be processed by the electoral registration officers. Normally in Sikkim, the ADCs and SDMs, they are the electoral registration officers who are notified by the Election Commission of India. So the EROs will be processing all these applications which have been received for additions, deletions and modifications. For addition of names of eligible persons, one has to apply in Form 6, and for deletion of names or for raising an objection against the entry of some other person's name, one has to apply in Form 7. And for making any changes in the electoral roll, त्यो particulars मा केही mistakes हरू केही छ त्यसलाई change गर्नु पर्यो, modify गर्नु पर्यो भने one has to apply in Form 8. So these are the three forms. So during this special summary revision which started from 16th October, we were receiving lots of forms from the public. And before actually starting the summary revision, we had done a house-to-house survey this time, because 2024 ma general elections to the Lok Sabha and Sikkim Legislative Assembly hune रहेछ. त्यसले गर्दा as per the directions of the Election Commission of India, हामीले house-to-house survey गरेको थियौं. त्यो house-to-house survey चाहिँ 1st July 2023 देखि 31st August 2023 सम्म गरेको थियौं. In this house-to-house survey, our BLOs, you know about who are BLOs, booth level officers. Every polling station or booth ma chahi we that in that area we appoint one government official as a BLO. So the BLO goes to house in his area and sees whether any person is eligible but his name is not entered in the roll. Then he identifies them. Similarly, in case if suppose someone has died in the house, that voter has died, then their name has to be deleted, so that they also will note that also. And similarly, any corrections, if the voter says ki mero naam ali spelling mistakes cha bhane, that also they will note. And this is what is done during the house-to-house survey. So 2 months we did a house-to-house survey, and in that process also we received lots of forms for additions, for deletions, as well as for modifications. Sorry. After the house-to-house survey was over, then from 17th of October, we started the special summary revision. So during the special summary revision also, we gave wide publicity about the summary revision and requested people to come forward to apply for inclusion or deletion or modification. In fact, on 17th October, we had a similar kind of a meeting here, and we had invited the political parties also and press and media to announce that the summary revision has started whenever. So on that day, we had handed over a draft electoral roll. The electoral roll as on 17th October 2023 was handed over to all the political parties so that they should know that whose names are there in the electoral roll whenever. So that copy was handed over to them. After that, as I said, forms were received, forms were processed, and if all the enclosures and the forms were correct, then the EROs would have accepted those forms. If some documents are missing, then EROs would reject those forms. So like that, acceptance rejections were error. Finally, all those accepted and rejected cases will be updated in the electoral roll. त्यो update भएर चाहिँ आज final electoral roll after summary revision, special summary revision 2024 is being published. So for publishing this final roll, we have got the approval from the Election Commission of India. So today publishing means that we are declaring that the roll has been published, plus we will also give a copy of the a soft copy of the electoral roll to all our political parties for their information. Plus your final roll will also be available in CEO's website also. So if any public wants to know whether their name is included in their electoral voter list ma naam cha ki chaina हेर्नु चाहनुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो CEO website मा चाहिँ they can go and check. So once today it is published, the as on 1/1/2024 roll will be available in our website. Statistics about the special summary revision. Before the summary revision started, as I said, 17th October ma we had published the draft roll. So draft roll ma Sikkim ma 4,58,406 voters were there. 458,406 voters were there as on 17th October 2023, and this breakup 2,30,615, 230,615 male voters were there, and 2,27,788, 227,788 female voters were there, and 3 transgender voters were there. In fact, first time in Sikkim we have got transgenders also as enrolled as voters in the state. Earlier they hadn't come forward, but we had created a lot of publicity and awareness that they also should come forward to declare themselves as transgender, which is nothing wrong. They are also equally a citizen of the country, and therefore because of our appeal we find that 3 of them had actually enrolled in the draft roll itself. So total was 4,58,406 voters were there in the draft roll. Now during the period of special summary revision, we had included 13,716 naya voters include bhako cha bhane 9,666 voters ko naam chai delete bhako cha. So deletion may be due to death or due to permanently shifting from Sikkim. Someone has shifted permanently from Sikkim, so the name will be deleted from the roll. So like that 9,666 voters naam chai delete bhako cha. So net additions 13,716 chai addition bhayera 9,666 deletion hundagari net additions to the electoral roll is 4,050. So this is over and above the draft roll 4,050 voters number badeko. So now I will give you the as on 1/1/2024 final roll ma abo yo hamro state ko voters ko details हेर्यौं भने total voters 4,62,456. If you see draft roll ma it was 4,58,406. Now it has gone up to 4,62,456. 462,456. So there is a net increase of 4,050 voters in the final roll as compared to the draft roll. Now the breakup for this 4,62,456 is we have 2,32,117 male voters, 232,117 male voters, and 2,30,334 female voters, 230,334. 2,30,334 voters are there female, and we have 5 transgenders also now. So earlier it was 3, now 2 more transgenders have been enrolled. So we have 5 transgenders. So all these numbers total to 4,62,456. This is the number of voters in Sikkim as on 1st January 2024. In terms of percentage, there is a net increase of 0.88%. 0.88% increase has been there in the overall in the state in the final roll as compared to the draft roll. Out of this voters in Sikkim, whatever I have said, 4,63,456 number of voters, we have 3,856 PWD voters, persons with disabilities. So we give lot of importance to persons with disabilities being enrolled as voters in the electoral roll of Sikkim. So for this, in fact, we had a special drive carried out. Women and Child Welfare Department जति जना persons with disabilities हुनुहुन्छ सिक्किममा उहाँको डेटाबेस हामीले मागेर उहाँको कन्ट्याक्ट नम्बर्स पनि मागेर त्यसलाई हामीले डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर्सलाई दिएको थियो इन्टर्न डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर्सले चाहिँ त्यसलाई आफ्नो बुथ लेभल अफिसर्सलाई दिएर वी हैड रिक्वेस्टेड द BLOs टु गो टु द हाउसेस अफ द पर्सन्स विथ डिसेबिलिटी किन अब दे मे नट बी एबल टु कम सम अफ देम may not be able to come to the office to submit the form vanera. So we sent the BLOs to the houses of the persons with disability, and because of this special effort we could increase the number of persons with disability, and now we have 3,856 disabled voters registered in the voter list of Sikkim as on 1/1/2024, but we may still have some more PWDs who may not have registered. Through this forum, I would like to appeal to all of you that if you find any person with disability in your area who is eligible, who is an Indian citizen, who is eligible to include his or her name in the electoral roll and has not enrolled so far in the voter list, kindly guide gardinos or hamilai cover dinos. This overall numbers of voters, we have another special category which is called service voters. So in Sikkim we have got 1,992 service voters. Service voters are those who are from Sikkim but they are employed in defense forces. Maybe they are in army, navy or air force or any central paramilitary force. So because of the nature of duty, maybe aru kahin Kashmir tira ya border areas ma posting bhako hunu sakcha. So they will not be able to come to cast their vote during the elections vanera. The election commission always maintains a separate role which is called service. The same electoral roll ma last part ma the details of service voters will be given. So such voters from Sikkim who are serving in the armed forces, we have 1,992 people registered as service voters in Sikkim. Now, taking again advantage of this meeting, I would like to make certain clarifications also. Like when I say final roll for the purpose of special summary revision matrayo, it doesn't mean that ki abadeki further additions undaina, further deletions undaina, modifications undaina banera China. We will continue to receive applications. So this point we have to make it very clear to the public, to the voters of Sikkim. Still, if suppose someone's name has to be included, they are eligible persons to be included, and for whatever reasons China they are still eligible, so they can submit form 6 to their BLO or through online they can go to the ECI website. Our voters portal is there, so they can go online also and apply. So this updation of the electoral roll is a continuous process. So today final roll published by you. This final roll is as on 1/1/2024 matrayo. It doesn't mean that further additions undaina banera. Further additions, deletions, modifications hame garnu sakchau. Boli dekhi ne continuous updation start bhayalcha. And anyone who is interested to include their name, or suppose someone has died in their house and they want to delete their name, that can be done still. This process will go on till the announcement of elections. Okay, the deadlines are, because this year we will be having general elections, so therefore this deadline is there. Otherwise, suppose elections China bane throughout the year pani addition deletion on saksa. There are, once elections are announced by the Election Commission of India, we further forms 7 and 8 for deletion and for modifications forms cannot be accepted. This is the rule of Election Commission as per the RP Act. So further forms after announcement of elections deletion को लागि या modifications को लागि चाहिँ forms accept हुँदैन. तर inclusion को लागि चाहिँ after announcement of elections पनि form 6 चाहिँ for inclusion of name हुनु सक्छ. तर त्यसको पनि एउटा deadline छ, that is 10 days before the last day of nominations. So 10 days before last day of nominations सम्म form 6 accept गर्छ. Form 6 किन 10 days before भने चाहिँ we need time to issue a notice of 7 days period and then processing the form भनेर election commission ले चाहिँ त्यही condition दिएको छ that last day of nomination को 10 days before सम्म we can accept forms 6 for inclusion. तर form 7 and 8 deletion and modification को चाहिँ once elections are announced, after that forms will not be accepted. So whatever additions deletions takes place during till that deadline, what I am saying, those additions deletions modifications will be updated in the electoral roll, and that electoral roll only will be used for the purpose of poll election को time मा त्यही electoral roll चाहिँ use हुन्छ. आज फाइनल electoral roll हो, यही electoral roll election मा use हुन्छ भनेर होइन. यो electoral roll मा further additions पनि हुन सक्छ, deletions पनि हुन सक्छ, modifications पनि हुन सक्छ. तर up to the time limit which I have just specified, after those changes, additions, deletions, modifications, जुन electoral finally print हुन्छ, that will be the electoral roll which will be used for the purpose of elections. To all the political parties, this I have been requesting them earlier also. This is with regard to the booth level agents. Like we have a booth level officers from the election department, from the district administration side. Similarly, we have been requesting the political parties also to appoint a booth level agent. Basically, they are members of the political party. One person in that polling station area can be identified as booth level agent. So idea is that BLO sometimes may not know someone has shifted from that area. BLO लाई याद हुँदैन. Someone has died. उसको नाम से delete गर्नु पर्छ. BLO लाई normally BLO ले form 7 चाहिँ भरिहाल्छ, तर sometimes they may not be aware. So it should be a joint exercise. It should be a joint exercise between the election department as well as from the political parties भनेर. There is a concept of booth level agents. This is not something new. It has been there for many years, but some of the political parties do not have BLAs. So we request all the political parties to have your BLAs who can assist our BLOs to identify people who have shifted, especially in many areas. What happens, people who may have come to Sikkim for some work, they stayed for 3-4 years, they had their name in the electoral roll, and they may have got transferred back and gone to some other state. So those names have to be actually deleted. Permanently shifted cases को चाहिँ हामीले delete गर्नुपर्छ. So in such cases, if the booth level agents of political parties also support us to identify such cases, cases of dead voters or cases of permanently shifted voters, so we will be able to make those changes in the electoral rolls. The idea is voter list should be as pure as possible.